Welcome to Double Fun
No.
TV.
Now we're live.
Now we're live again, sort of, kind of.
Now we're live.
Amazing how these things happen.
Ay, ay, ay. So I guess now we're live, Double Funnel TV, where we're building funnels live Monday through Friday in the morning. Today is Monday.
Customer value
Obviously.
journey for a
preschool.
That should be interesting and fun and all that kind of good stuff.
Well, I figured I would do this one. We had a couple of requests, and this is one that we have had great success with personally as an agency, actually doubling enrollment.
Nice.
Obviously, who doesn't like doubled enrollment?
Everybody likes that. Are you kidding?
Doubled enrollment is like always.
It's like double.
It's like double. I think technically we're past double or almost triple, but now they're at capacity. So we'll never truly 3x because there's that is the one limitation with schools, right?
Right.
There's the limitation. There's only so many classrooms. So in that way, we have limitations. Customer value journey for preschool. So this will work for any of the preschools, Montessori's, daycares. To some extent, I feel like these words are interchangeable as far as the marketing goes, right?
Sure.
All right, Sean. Sean's bringing the jokes this morning. Princess Leia. Yes, but the sound is so much more crisp.
Well, it is kind of Princess Leia-like, for sure.
For a while, I used to do my hair in big buns on the side because if I did a bun in the back, just one, my military hat wouldn't fit. And so they used to call me Princess Leia.
Nice.
And then I got called out because your military hairstyle wasn't supposed to be pretty. It's okay with other girls do it. It wasn't okay when I did it.
Well, that's the way things work.
That's no fun. Oh, hello. I'm also in my recliner with my giant blanket because it is cold outside.
It's crazy cold here in Dallas today.
So
it's
cold.
23 degrees when I went to club this morning.
Ooh, 21 is what my car said.
Not supposed to be that way. Not here.
All right. So, quick rundown if you've never heard of a customer value journey. And having just come back from the Digital Marketers Traffic and Conversion Summit, they were discussing how much of digital marketing is on the verge of being disrupted. Just like every industry goes through those 5 stages, it's our turn for everything to change. And I would like to say it's changing for the better. In some ways it is, but for the small business owner to a greater extent, it's about to get a lot harder. And the reason for that is all the big guys are starting to learn that this stuff works. In fact, every single day now since Black Friday, I've seen Bath and Body Works advertising on Facebook. So you have major corporations now playing it around that used to be reserved for small business owners.
Right.
So it will be more and more important that, you can't just do a funnel. You can't just get, a name and email address. And don't get me wrong, you still can. There's just got to be more to it. There has to be a specific journey. And that may not just be a 3-step funnel like you might be watching on some of the competitors. It really does need to be a journey that takes them fully from this awareness stage all the way to being your big promoter.
Right.
In human psychology, this would be equivalent. So if you were to go in and ask somebody to be a referral for you that you've just met, this would be the equivalent of walking up to a stranger and putting your hand on their face. Awkward.
Extremely
awkward, right?
I'm not sure that you'd want to do that.
And yet we do that in sales all the time. Oh, come on, get off of here. There we go. So your big one is always going to be, to some extent, we're going to work a little backwards, right? Your core offer is obviously going to be that monthly care.
Mm-hmm.
Core offer is monthly. You might have a profit maximizer. So this is just a way to make more money.
Would that be supplying them tools or materials or
Well,
something like
this is
that?
going to be a little different for everyone, but I would think Mom's Day Out or Mom's Night Out. So you can do some like, I
Got
know
it.
a couple of them opened up for like Black Friday, speaking of Black Friday, so that parents could go out, or like Friday nights, so parents can go out on date nights, shopping in the morning, or, Saturdays when you're not normally open. What are some other ones? Oh, summer camp. Summer camps are always a big one. Spring
Nice.
break camps. Whenever you're not normally
Yeah, any
offering
of the
classes.
school holidays or school days off, so that the parents don't have to modify their calendar.
Right. Referral partners. I'm a big fan of, like, this is a great place to start always, because your referral partners are obviously going to hopefully refer you out, and it kind of works in a big happy family circle. But also, this is going to be the stuff you talk about on social media, and like, what other stuff do parents care about, right? That's your avatar, is the parent. Now, the very specific avatar that you're working with is going to depend on what market you're in. Are you a daycare, preschool, Montessori, something like the Musical Art Schoolhouse, which is our client, where you are offering specialized education, right? So your referral partners are going to be a little different. So Musical Art Schoolhouse obviously partners with instrument companies. That is rather irrelevant for a lot of daycares. But an
True.
easy one is going to be those that have summer camps, because especially if you're non-compete or they're using your building, or y'all can help each other out there. Anybody who has kids that does anything with kids. So any of the birthday party companies, birthday party peaks.
Yep.
And I would also say like event people. So on a regular, or what would I
Yeah.
say, classes. Why is it
Well, I
moving?
was actually what came to me was like Party City, like actually because to a certain extent that could be self-serving. I mean, they have families and people and kids that come through, right, to get stuff maybe for a birthday party or for this or that. But I'm sure there are conversations that go on that, because again, it's the avatar is walking into the building. My guess is there would be conversations that said that people say, gosh, I wish I had a place to take my kid during ...
I think the only problem with Party City is going to be that it's at the corporate level. It's not a locally franchised. You walk in the door, you're going to be talking to it's just,
Yeah, no, and I can understand that on one side. On the other side, just because we were literally looking stuff for this Mardi Gras parade, so I happened to be there, and I just watched some of the interactions, and although it was a corporate, a corporate entity, the people within the store are kind of, it felt more localized. This is just a personal experience for
yeah.
me. Maybe it's not consistent or congruent or things like that. It's what popped into my head when you said that.
No, and I can get that. When I've noticed when I'm working with companies, it's one that just, when you get into like some of the bigger corporations, it just doesn't work as well. And think about it this way too. Like we're looking at hiring on a salesperson who's coming out of Montessori environment. And we were discussing one of the local Montessoris here in Dallas. Were they a Montessori? Or no, yeah, they were a Montessori. One of the instructors broke kids' bones. got arrested, everything
I
terrible. Like I can't even go to the
don't
retail.
hire that one.
Yeah, that one just
Yeah, no,
ah,
I remember. I heard that story. You're
I
right.
can't even, yeah, I can't even tell it. But imagine you're a corporation and you've partnered and suggested this Montessori. I think the risk at that point is too
Yeah,
significant for the corporation to, not have something highly vetted. Whereas if you're dealing with localized small businesses, they're going to have a little bit more eyes and ears and take that kind of risk, right? Got Saul over here adding on and joining the party with Sean. Um, but kind of like I think keep those in frame. And of course, like your referral partners, those can be significantly more. These are going to be a little bit more dependent on your specific market. Think about any of the locations near you. Any of the HOA organizations are going to be a great place to market around. Like we actually had in Richwoods, of course, there's like 1,000+ homes in that neighborhood before we moved out, but they would actually sponsor the HOA activities. That was like a big deal. So in-person networking is not going to be so relevant. Like these business owners aren't going to be out going to networking groups. Oop, I lost Scott. See if we can find Scott real quick here. He just disappeared. I will keep an eye on him, but I will keep going. So in-person is going to be like sponsoring kid events. Cold postcards have actually worked pretty good. I think it's a little bit of a costly method, but I don't want to completely diss it because I have been seeing it work. It does need to be done correctly. SEO is kind of killer in this market. Google ads are going to be your most direct method of building awareness. I feel like I kind of skipped over this. I'm so used to doing it. But awareness is going to be that very, 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 very first step in the journey. It's going to be, okay, Scott's computer crashed. He's now rebooting. Awareness is going to be the very first step. It is how do they even get eyeballs on target. So it's always great to have, we're building on referrals. And that is a huge one in this market. Put that on there. This is going to be especially mom referrals. If I can spell referrals. But they do have to be cultivated. And one of the things that we've seen with referrals is if you have an all-day program and the majority of your demographic are working moms, they don't have time to get on Facebook and offer all these referrals, whereas some of the shorter programs do, making them highly competitive, even if they don't have the better program, which is really odd. Now, let's see if we can make it bigger till Scott gets here anyway, right? So definitely the mom referrals on Facebook are huge. If you can incentivize those referrals in any way, offering some kind of free gift or, financial or a gift card or straight up cash, something to the moms who are referring you, that is going to be the best way to start getting those in. And that's going to be the same with those referral partners. That's how you're going to get those started. But to keep this going on a machine, so it's constantly working no matter what, right? You're going to have to turn some Google ads on. And they're not horrendously expensive. It's not outside the budget for preschool, especially when you consider how much each child is worth at you. So we're looking at anywhere between, see at the low end, $3 to $16 a click on Google ads, with a good click-through rate and an acquisition rate. So acquisition rate is going to be actually getting, and this is of course dropping them over to a landing page, so not just your website. I think we were looking at around $88 per acquisition. It seems high, but our acquisition was high. So some of those were just the leads. Some of those were actual phone calls. No, it wasn't that much. Here's me getting my numbers confused. $88 the cost to actually get them in the building, to get them during a tour or a discovery day. The actual call acquisition, I believe, was around $44. Sorry, me getting my numbers confused. $88 to get them in the building. And since they have such a high close rate, we were looking about $180 per kid to get them closed and secured as a client. When you consider the client here is paying anywhere from $800 to $1,000 per month, and they're doing this consistently for 9-10 months minimum. They could even be doing it for 12 months of each year. If you get them as 3-year-olds or 18-month-olds or 6-month-olds, obviously this depends on your program, and you keep them all the way up to kindergarten, the lifetime value of a child is quite significant. So $180 per signed up kid, pretty easy when you consider the lifetime value. Obviously, you need other touch points. It's not just Google Ads. That Google ad needs to take you to a actual landing page with some call tracking, so you know how that each one of your ads is doing. The ads need to be properly worded. They need to have some incentive. And I'll get into some of those incentives that we've used that really work. But what I'm saying is, it's not, you just can't turn a Google ad on and expect a miracle. Waiting for Scott over here. SEO long blog articles. So I'm not saying these SEO, like this old school garbage that these SEO people do where they put all these backlinks and bullshit on. Sorry, trying not to curse on here, but it happens. But what I am saying is actually having some SEO. We kind of got Scott. Scott's here, but not quite here. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Boom.
That was very bizarre.
Your computer just crashed, huh?
I mean, literally, I'm sitting here and all of a sudden that blue screen that I text you, I took a picture of it and sent it to you, but it was just
blue screen of death.
Also, I had the blue screen of death, and I was just sitting here. I didn't do anything. I didn't touch anything.
Nice.
Just like, where'd that come from? Okay,
it's
so where
special.
are we?
So SEO is, so I was talking about mom referrals are a big one. Google ads are amazing. SEO, like all those backlinks, that's BS. You don't need all that stuff. You just need SEO optimized on site. You need some long blog articles. And really, you need them for a couple of reasons. Like, you want them because it's good for SEO to have those long blog articles in there, seeing what people are actually searching. And this is crazy. I'll go ahead and slip over here to Engage. I want to actually put this on there, a specific blog. So the first blog is going to be best preschools in
Dallas,
your city.
Frisco.
And here's what, don't be the jerk, right? Don't write the post and then only talk about your school. Our trick here was we wrote our qualifications, what makes the best preschool, and how we looked at it. And of course, we sized up ours to be the winner. And then at the bottom, go ahead and put the top 10 preschools in the area.
Right.
You know, of course, you want to be a little closer to the top. Let them know your bias. They know your bias. You might as well admit to it. The other reason
it's
is
like I think it's fascinating. You go on the airplane, top 10 doctors in, and that all started with top 10 steakhouses. And in the airplane magazines.
Hey,
top 10.
What was it? What's the guy's magazine? GQ had top 10 steakhouses, or no, top 10 types of food in the United States. And the number one steakhouse was Bob's Steak and Chop House here in Dallas. So what do you think the first thing I did when I came to Dallas from South Carolina was? Well, after I had my barbecue and my Mexican food, had to go to Bob's.
That's right. Well,
there's no Mexican food and good barbecue in South Carolina. No brisket. I was dying. But then true. Bob's.
Well, but I mean, that's it all started as, I mean, it might not have started that way, but that's where I remember seeing it for the first time, where they were really doing the national rankings, right? And it just so happened that the city that you were flying to always happened to have the number one location, or at least it had one of the 10, right?
Really?
So, I mean, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. It was totally manufactured by it was like, I don't remember the organization now, but they're just like the the Association of Steakhouse Rating Services, which was some guy who just sold 10 ads. It was brilliant.
Nice. Very nicely done. I did not know that little story.
Yeah.
But yeah, do those articles, do one that talks about all of your curriculum for each level, whether it's preschool, daycare, private kindergarten, whatever you have. Go ahead and write the article that talks about your curriculum. Same thing with consultants. Don't be afraid to share it. Everyone's going to try to, if people are going to try to knock you off, that just means you're the best on the block, right? It's flattery. They can't be you, right? Cold postcards, I don't like it because I can't track it as much. I'll be honest, I don't have the access. This is not what we run for our client that we do with it, but they do it. And this is not even hard. They don't buy a list. They do this crazy thing. They go onto the, not DCAD, whatever it's called, Collin County CAD. So that's just the Central Appraisal District where they keep all the tax rolls.
Right.
And you just pick a neighborhood you want to blanket. And there's all your addresses. There's all your names. No list needed. You just get like an intern or a VA to translate and download all the addresses with the people's names who live there.
Yeah.
They did all the work for you, sponsoring the kids' event. So these are how people are going to find out you exist, right? This one is going to be how they're going to engage with you once they find out about you. You got to have some Facebook business going here. Got to have some smiling kids' faces. You might have to get permission from the parents to sign a release that that you can use and take pictures. But definitely have a Facebook business page so they can research you. Make sure you have some blog posts. Videos of happy customers would be great.
Yep.
I don't think your personal posts here are going to be as big of a deal. Explanation video. So what should be some good engagement? I'm trying to think the best one. Go ahead.
Well, it would be cool to see some kids doing some exercise or activity of some sort, or playing a game, or to really kind of see the experience the value of what your kids are available to, right?
No, absolutely. So video is going to be great here. So I think the next one would be a YouTube channel, highly searchable. You can integrate it with the blog post. iMovie is great here. Great. Because you can do a quick trailer, is what it's called. Drop in a couple of quick videos and pictures. Super simple. And get those popped up there on a regular basis. That's not even hard. That's low-hanging fruit. I'm trying to think what else would I want to see at the engage level. So we're just now getting to learn you. I want to see some blog posts, some comparison ones, some why we're best, as many as possible. Facebook, your YouTube, some customer story videos. How else will I would be engaging? And then some dark social. I'm going to need some Facebook group activity. It's not going to be your group, but I would probably like to see that if I go
moms groups, things like that.
Let me just go ahead and put that in there because it's not like they have dad groups. Got your Facebook moms groups. If I go in there and I ask about you, it'd be nice if they knew about you. Kind of going back to the referral fee, if they name drop you. Do you get any hookup for that? Incentivize the moms. This could be even throwing events. Put over that. And inviting the community. So carnival days or Easter, having Easter egg hunt for the community, especially if you've got, because then you can, especially if you're doing these postcards, inviting them to like an Easter egg hunt that's private near your community. If they've got a 2-year-old and you start at 3, and they come out to your Easter event and see how great and awesome it is and meet all the other parents that go there and they all speak great about you. Easy peasy. Great engagement. Bread and circuses, feed them and entertain them.
Yep.
This one's really simple. Pricing. On your page, from your ad to over here and everything over here, offer them pricing. They just want to know, are you in the ballpark of what you can afford?
Yep.
You're going to save yourself a ton of phone calls, and you're like, oh no, I want a phone call because then I can get them in and it'll be so great and it'll be easy.
Yep.
Sometimes people don't want to call. This new generation doesn't want to call.
This
They
new
just want
generation that looks like Princess Leia today, that generation.
I don't want to call.
That's what I said.
I don't want nothing to do with that. If I could just get, it's 5 in the morning, not 5 in the morning.
Right.
It's
well,
midnight.
I mean,
I
if
want
you
information.
you want to be able to research and go, you want the information at your fingertips.
Yeah.
You want to be able to go and find out the stuff. I'm very similar to that now, because if I wake up at a weird time, I want to work on what I'm working on right then and there, and
Yep.
then be done with it.
Exactly.
You know.
I'd like to, have this kind of stuff out. I want to know the basic information.
Yep.
And the only way to do that is to make it available, make it easy for them to get the information that they actually want. They want pricing. Now, the secret isn't how you deliver it, right? The secret is making sure that you deliver all that benefit that you're giving those people inside of your pricing. So we actually have, I think it's up to like 19 pages or 13 pages. I don't know. It's something ridiculous of a lead magnet, because that's what this is a lead magnet, an ethical bribe. Give me your email address. Now we are, as soon as I get off here, I'm actually going to go change some stuff. We're going to turn it into an active campaign form to stop the spam, adding, instead of just email and name, we're adding phone number, kid's name, whole host of information to see how that works and test that out. But before you give them pricing, like, give them all the benefits of the stuff that you're doing. Let them know that, you're a award-winning author if the head of your school is, or that you've been in business this long, or here's
Right.
your curriculum, or this what makes you special, or all that stuff. Put that in there too with the pricing. Put your calendar in there, put all that good stuff in there, but allow them to download it online.
Yep.
It's what they want.
Make it easy.
It is. So you can certainly call to follow up, getting them into a tour and all that stuff. I want you to have email follow-up. I want you to Facebook retargeting. But what I really want here, and when the first time I did this, I didn't know that it would work. I was kind of just making it up as I went along. But let them schedule online a discovery day.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. We, Peggy has a rover business. And so we have dogs, that come over for anywhere from a day to a couple weeks.
Uh-huh.
We do a meet and greet, and if it's a longer period of time, we suggest that they're actually here for a day to really see, because they're going to be here for a long time.
Yeah.
So I know kids aren't dogs, but it just struck into my mind a very similar kind of thing. Just see how the kid loves it,
No, I agree. And especially if you have a great program, which obviously I want the best business to win, the best school to win by far. I don't want to support like the school that's got the bad teachers who are beating the children or slapping them in front of a TV all day. But if you have a great program, that becomes your aha, your excite moment. Take pictures of the kid while they're having a great time and send them back to mom and dad. Send them home with a swag bag full of a custom coloring book with a couple of crayons and, a sticker for your school and a little book, or, something. It's just like encourages it's like a little bit of Christmas, right? Kids like Christmas, parents
Yep.
like Christmas.
Yep.
Send a little Christmas home. And this all, of course, helps if you have a systematized process that everybody knows. I mean, that's going to be the way that you close these deals. This is why they have such a high close rate, is because of their system. Once they get them in for discovery day, and that they see the kids are doing dance class with actual ballet shoes, and that they are doing a theater class on an actual stage, and art class with actual canvases and acrylic paint and modeling clay, that's a big excite stage. And then making sure that they follow up with that swag bag. Like, a lot of daycares are like, no, we're pure referral. All right, if your school is full, good for you. If your school is not full, step it up a notch, right?
Yeah.
So we got the core offer. You want to get them signed up, and then of course you can always be marketing them, like regularly market, send things home, tell them what you're doing, broadcast emails, Facebook follow up. Like, you want a Facebook ad to your existing customers, and it could be as simple as the pictures that you're taking each day and just bumping them up with a $5, $10, $15 budget per each one per day to your existing audience and maybe their friends. To just let everyone know what you're doing and make sure they stay top of mind, see their kids, and they're happy campers. Ask for feedback. Over here in Advocate, we want to get reviews, right? Don't ask for a review if you don't know if they're happy campers. If they are happy, ask for the review. Facebook, Yelp, LinkedIn, Google Plus, written on paper, Facebook post, any of these, anything that you can leverage to put in down here in your marketing materials, right? If you can put it on YouTube. If you can get that video review, make a social media station inside of your school. Make a little square that's fun for the kids, something that they could put their face in or something and be silly. Change it up maybe regularly. And then if they're in promote, same thing. Partner gives referral gifts. You're allowed to do that.
I like it.
It's so straightforward.
Pretty much.
I say that. I mean, this is one that we work on regularly. This is a large client of ours. We've got a couple of them that we work on with this. Obviously, I have a favorite.
No,
Google
I mean, I
Ads.
think.
Go ahead.
No, I just think that there's a nice flow to it all, and it makes a ton of sense. I love the idea of creating a little cutout for the, goofy little cutout for the kids and things like that, because I think that would be some cool what did you do today? Well, today I was a whatever, and I did this, and it shows. I mean, you might get 1 out of 100. Who knows?
Right.
But that one could be just so ridiculously cute that, people go, oh, I want my kid to do that.
Right. They're too cute, right? Anytime the kids, if you've got your little logo in the corner and these are the pictures that parents are sharing, what's it cost? Like, you can go to the mom business groups and pick up like big wooden ones of these for nothing. Yeah. You can have them printed at local print shops for nothing. Have a couple of them, like, for the month of December, have one for Santa or an elf or something. All sorts of just regular rotating ones.
That would actually be fun to have Elf Day and have have the kids come like that, but then also have them get their picture taken like that.
Right. They're going to take a picture. The kids can't resist it. Like Claire's in the mall, which is like this place where you buy earrings and little doodads. It's probably majority small or younger girls. And Bella and John both, even my son, they can't help but going to this like little, is it unicorn or rainbow-haired pony or something, or maybe both, and then sticking their face in it. Mom, take a picture of me. That's all kids want is attention. And you're handing it to them on a silver platter. Put your little logo in the corner on the back wall.
The other side of it is, if you think about it, that's all the parents want is to brag on their kids too. So if you can get a picture of their kid on
Mm-hmm.
your website, you're more likely than to have that mom share that website with somebody else. Hey, go to or Facebook page or whatever it might
Mm-hmm.
be.
I feel like that's an easy one and nobody wants to set it up. Easy
Well,
referral marketing.
it's like you know, so much of what is available to you is easy. It might not be simple, but it's easy,
Yeah.
right? And so you got to. It is actually pretty easy to ask somebody. So, what do you think about the talk I just did? What do you think about what you just learned from our time together? What did what's your experience?
Right.
It's not overly hard to do that. I've got one friend that is a master at that, but it's not that hard. But you have to think about it. It's like anything else. You
Exactly.
get into practice doing it. But once you do it, it's like, well, it's pretty easy
Right.
and
Uh,
powerful.
it is like, and I get some of these, um, they're not, they seem overwhelming. I get that. So like, even like down here in awareness, Google ads, the company that we came into, the worst case one, they were spending $3,500 a month on Google ads and getting zero results. None, zero, zip, zilch,
Wow.
none. Not only were they getting zero results, they were the only ad they had was targeting the keyword of their competitor. So a lot of these people just are looking to find the website for the school their kids are already going to, right? And they're looking for specific information on a specific one, and you're trying to compete against it. And I get it. I've seen this before. We use Design Pickle, and there's a couple companies out there. When you type in Design Pickle, their company is buying the ad space for that, right? In this particular case, though, they were going after the competitor that everybody was using. If you went after preschool or daycare or private school or anything like that, the click was about $3 to $4 a piece, maybe $6 on the high end, depending on what it was.
Wow.
The price for the competitor's name was $16.
Wow.
16. So they were blowing through a budget and not getting the ideal customer in. As soon as I took that keyword off and made it a negative word that I didn't want to compete for nothing, it's crazy now. So now they spend about $2,400 on the busy month. So busy month is like right now, February, March, April, when people are deciding what schools to put their kids in. On a slow month, $1,500.
Wow. It's
Yeah,
a big difference in budget.
big difference in budget. And yeah, you have to pay somebody a Google ad fee, in this case, me. But if you can't, I can't spend more for this company than $2,400 if I've tried. So you've already saved 1,000 off the top, and now it's useful. You're getting
Yeah.
30 leads in, and you're closing half of them.
Pretty effective.
Pretty effective. The key on that is then backing it up with any of the Facebook retargeting at each level. Once you get them on some kind of blog post, you can retarget them for the entirety of the rest of the journey.
Mm-hmm.
One ad per section, getting them to go to the next section, $5 a day. Huge deal. Even if you have a $15 a day budget, to retarget the people from the engage stage that are on your blog post with the subscribe stage, retarget the people who have subscribed and gotten pricing but haven't done a discovery day yet, retarget them over here. So you've got one ad, two ad, three ads. Each ad is just pointing to the next step.
Yeah.
This one points to this one points to that one. And this one, once you go to discovery day, is talking you into coming over here and actually signing up. And then I would say, as a daycare, you should have another $5 a day budget that is just your general post going out to everyone on your list, your existing customers, and these people. So $20 a day times 30 days in a week, or 30 days in a month.
30 days in a week makes
That's
for a long
nothing.
week. It makes for a long
Right.
week.
That would be a long week. That makes for some long days. Those two are big. The SEO is a big. It doesn't have to be SEO like you get from an SEO person where they want to charge you freaking $2,000 a month. Like, oh my God, put that through Google Ads because that's where people are looking for you. This just needs to be a nice set of regular blog articles. I mean, we start usually with 9 for a client, and get them going, make them relevant, make sure we put them in all the email follow-up. Email follow-up is critical here. There's a couple pieces. So Google Ads, Facebook retargeting, a handful of great blog articles, email automation here, and a just general sales process that includes some excite. I think that swag bag really works. The discovery day is outstanding. Being able to schedule online, fantastic. Remove all the friction. Make it easy for parents to sign up. What do you think over there?
I like it. I think the swag bag. I like the I mean, I'm thinking there's just a lot of different things that you could put in there. There's a lot of creativity that you could put to this. And I've been kind of out of the young kid business for quite a while, but, I can see, there's a lot of creativity you could put in this to make it a lot of fun.
Definitely.
And draw, it kind of goes back to way back when what just popped up with me was when Fellowship Church launched, and there were a few hundred members, things like that, and they said if we cater to the kids, the rest will grow. And they just really made sure that the kids programs and everything about the kids, if the kids want to be there, it doesn't, your pricing doesn't matter. Your, quote unquote, all the measurables on the parent side are different if the kid wants to be there.
Oh yeah. They've determined, they brought in psychologists to work with advertising companies for cereals. And they have it down to a science how many times the child needs to cry before the parents buy the product. It's 10 times. Get them to cry 10 times and they'll take care of it.
It's interesting because we've talked about this before, but I think that it sends me into that again, thinking what excites kids these days. And the more excited that kid is, it's the mom will pay anything if the kid is happy, right? So your pricing change, all that stuff is a function of the experience of the child. So how do you make the experience of the child exceptional in a lot of that stuff? It's just, it's interesting. I'm thinking through the whole quote unquote sales process.
Right. No, they will go through a lot. And I think that's where I'm amazed at sometimes how some of these more unique schools, when you've got Montessori programs or the musical arts schoolhouse where they've got full dance and art programs, Spanish schoolhouse that has a complete Spanish program, not just a 1 hour a week type thing, but the ones especially that really stand out, just let people know what you do. Make it fun for the kid. Make it interesting. Capture their attention. And they're going to be happy. They get to play all day with other kids. I think the only time I complained when I was younger was when it was complete, anarchy and kids were throwing toys at me. And I'd go home and be like, Mom, Dad, I don't want to be here anymore. And then they're going to whip you right out.
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, that's why I was thinking about how if the kid's experience is exceptional, the rest will take care of itself, right?
Yes.
So what can you do? I don't think how do you translate that message You know what got me thinking about also was the dojo that we did.
Yeah.
You know, in seeing the younger kids in the dojo having fun with that experience, right? And seeing those
Yep.
videos and seeing those kinds of things. I think it's a very visual thing because I think that uh, the parents, I mean, they aren't there to watch their kids,
Yeah.
right? And so if the environment is that of a bunch of kids laughing and giggling and goofing off and having fun, it's like, right? It takes all the pressure off and all the
Hmm.
other thought process. So it's like, what, you know, how does that message get conveyed versus all the other stuff? I mean, I understand all the other stuff has to be there. It's more the tactical or the, uh, you know, I mean, how it all plays into it.
Right.
But it's just how do you communicate that message that the kids are loving it?
I like that the particular school we work with a lot, they actually, so the way we did it was we did online scheduling. So we used Book Like a Boss, which I have a link for down in the description. We used this on the thank you page. So landing page, you put in the pricing information, you go directly to this ability place where you can schedule online. And we did free discovery days. So 4 hours free for your child. We discovered all days a little bit too much, right? If you need all day, you can call. If you have more than one kid, you can call. But we only allowed one kid a day with the idea that it's going to be a transition, right? Especially if it's the first time this kid has been, away from mom all day with school, right? Um, but just one kid. And you know who that kid is when you come in. So you have your camera ready and someone goes through and takes a picture at each of the 5 different classes that they're in all day, and they send all these pictures home to make the mom and dad feel more secure in their decision. Hey, look
That's,
at how Johnny's excelling here. Look how happy he is. Look at all the friends that he's made.
you know, what you could almost do there, or what came to me there is if you had these little different, you know, mom ask me about this, you know, that here's a picture. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, right?
Uh-huh.
But if you, I mean, that's just when you said that, that's what I thought. Wouldn't it be cool? Because now your kid is the salesperson.
Mm-hmm.
Now we were playing with whatever, and that was so cool. And it's just interesting. I haven't thought about that kind of stuff in a long time.
Not your wheelhouse these days. Not your wheelhouse.
No, but I mean, I
Um,
think it's a cool idea. I think I think I think there's some fun stuff there. Stop doing that.
I know it's Monday. I'm still like getting pumped up. And the other one I think is huge was the swag bag. Like it cost nothing. Good morning, Rayanne, to get these like branded bags with like the little drawstrings. It's like what, $1 a bag, and if you buy them in bulk, you could even get them lower than that. Um, Design Pickle, if you either don't use the Design Pickle yourself or work with us and we'll take care of it for you. Create a custom coloring book and have it printed off at take it to Alibaba, have them custom print it, order 1,000, stick it in each one of those bags. If
Yeah,
you've
but
ever
that's
written a book, put the book in there.
well. I mean, you gotta now. Let's get into some sales stuff. What's the lifetime value of that kid? What's the value of gaining? You know, I mean, it's interesting because we were talking earlier about you had to do all these different things and you then got 30 leads from it. What, $2,400, you got 30 leads
Mm-hmm.
from it and 15 of those converted and dot, dot, dot. That just becomes a math equation now is what's your lifetime value of that kid. So the swag bag and this entire marketing approach is all part of that.
Right.
You
It
know, I
really
mean,
is.
if you had, I don't know, how many dollars worth of stuff you would have to put in there, but it can't. You can go to Oriental Trading Company and get,
That's another one.
24 fuzzballs for, next to nothing, right? For 20 cents a piece or 50 cents a piece. And you got this and this and this. Think of it almost like a trade show swag bag.
It is. It's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Except you want to be the swag bag with the best. You want to be the hostess with the mostest. You do.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of those, like, don't skip because you think that you have them, they've already been in there. These parents make decisions fast.
Yep.
Like, it's slow, but once they start touring schools, their mind gets made up fast.
Well, yeah, you would think, yeah. There are choices, but there are probably not all that many choices because they want proximity. They want a variety of other things.
They do.
So how do you stand out in the crowd amongst not a huge crowd? Just be a little bit better.
But again, though, it's got to be a quick one. That is why let them download pricing online. Let them schedule right online. It does require you to be, like Google Calendar or something where it's all set up and you take all your days off and you manage it. I get that. But the ability to have all this done and taken care of and get them in the building and call them and, see how they're doing and see what their needs are. Get them in there, get them excited. That swag bag, let them take it home, let it sit there with them. And the biggest fear with this was that it would turn into babysitting, that people would abuse the program just to have their kids being babysat, right, with no intention of ever actually using the program. That's a risk you take. 2 years now, I've not seen that be a problem.
Yeah.
So what? So maybe one person does it, but you may be able to excite them into being a customer.
The other side of that is they might even tell that story that, hey, little Billy really loved it over there, even though we weren't looking at it, and that word gets around too. I think, you do everything the best you possibly can. You can't control if people are going to take advantage of you, they're going to take advantage of you. If they're going to do certain things, they're going to do certain things. But just, again, high intention, put it out there, do the right things. Here's why we do this. Explain what a discovery day is about. Yep. Again, if part of it is, we want to make sure that your child experiences the best possible situation for them, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
All you can do,
exactly.
Cool.
Well, very cool. That wraps it up. I just realized it's 10:04 on the dot.
All righty.
Got Rayanne and Saul and Sean today. I guess landing pages.
We're building.
For pricing. Always building. Always building. You still got me in there?
Yeah, no, I was trying to, it sounded like it was either thunder or a big truck going by or something, but it was like weird.
Oh.
It's not supposed to thunder today, is it?
I heard rain might be on the forecast. It's freezing, so that would be not cool.
That would be not cool. Yeah, it's 23 degrees, so that would be very cool. But not cool. All right. Well, we'll build landing pages tomorrow.
All right. Bye, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow on Double Funnel TV.